The first thing we want to do is check if it's a homogeneous sample, which means did you take the sample from one section that has a unique profile that's going to give us a weird sample, or is it a conglomerate, right? Is it a representative sample of all of the soil that we're dealing with here? And it looks pretty uniform, right? Just looking at it. And already looking at it, you can tell it's like baby powder. So it doesn't surprise me that you have a dust problem, right? You can tell, because it's powder, that it's also high clay content, which means there's a whole lot of small particles, right? So soil is made up of different size particles. Primarily, they're categorized as soil, right? Sand, number one, which is the largest particle. Silt, which you can kind of think of like a river bottom, right, is silty. And that's a lot of your black loams, things like that. And then clay. Clay is the finest particle, and you would think it's the smallest particle. It does a couple of things. It holds a lot of moisture, but it also dries out real hard. So when you see soils that are cracking when they dry out, it's because there's a high clay content in there. So what we're going to look at is we're going to take a sample here. We're just going to mix it up, make sure, like I said, it's uniform. We don't want any of this grass and stuff in there. But what we're going to do is we're going to take some, we're going to put it in here and shake it up. And because there's this classification of sand, silt, and clay, it gives us kind of an estimation of soil type. And from that, we can work on fertility issues, drainage, all kinds of things. And what'll happen is you'll see the sand will sink the fastest, and then the silt will sink a little bit slower, and the clay will float in there almost overnight. So tomorrow we'll have to come back and look at it, and what it'll have done is it'll congregate into layers here. So you'll be able to tell from those layers like what percent is sand, what percent is silt, what percent is clay. And I got a feeling that it's going to be just a muddy mess, and we're going to have to wait till tomorrow to see anything. There's going to be barely any sand and a whole lot of clay. But I don't want to use all of it because I want to keep some for other samples. So we'll do 2 scoops here. All right. Take 2 tomorrow. So we just want to shake it and set it somewhere.